Man, as you were talking about this, it reminds me of that similar experience. In 2020, 2021, is where God really, it's not that he wasn't speaking to me before, you know, but this is where I actually started to actually tune in to what he was saying. This this is something I talk to tell everybody about because it's so powerful, and it's like, wow, that actually happened for me. I remember I was with my younger brother. We were chilling that night. We were talking to each other, and one of the conversations that was brought up was I was asking him like, "Hey, do you ever feel like God is talking to you?" And he was telling me like, "Yeah, I wonder how that what that sounds like because we're thinking like audible voice and all that stuff."
Right. But
And I'm just
no,
like,
God talks in so
bro,
many
if
ways.
God's talking to me, he needs to like slap me or something or hit me or something. I said verbatim, this is what I said. If God is talking to me, he needs to like hit me or something because I just don't know. I don't know. My father comes up later that night and he randomly, because he don't usually come up the stairs, but he comes up and he's like, "Hey, let me ask you guys something. Do you guys know what the Ten Commandments are?" And I know what they are, but I didn't know them. You know what I mean? And so I was wrestling with that. With the thought, like, I don't really know. I don't know as much as I think I did. I was working a job at this is a place called the Scott, um, and I was a concierge. And so that night I left for my job, working night shift, and during that time, um, that's when I was really heavy in the mess I was in. And I remember even after hearing all that stuff, I was fighting that battle of uh, um, fornication. It was to a point I remember uh, when I felt that urge of wanting to go and sleep around, I would just fall asleep. I would just make myself go to sleep so that I wouldn't do anything because it had such a hold over me. And that night, um, I was there, and that same experience, I felt start feeling that same tug on me. So the following morning, um, I was beautiful morning, like clear skies, sun was out, everything was beautiful. I think I was going to the Bank of America to withdraw some money. I was walking down the street, and in Detroit at at the time, I don't know if they do it everywhere, but at the time, like there was just steam coming out of the
Oh, the manhole,
yeah,
the
manhole.
ground,
It was just like steam, and
downtown
yeah,
vibes,
it
all
was
that.
downtown. And so I'm walking. I had the right of way. I see this truck, this Ford truck, and I'm like, oh, he sees me, And I'm walking, and he's turning. I'm like, this dude's like, I know he sees me, but he's still coming, and he ends up hitting me, and I fly like so amount of feet away. My jacket's messed up and stuff. I'm like, bro, this man really just hit me. But as soon as he hit me, he stopped. Like it wasn't like it could have been a lot worse. And that's what I was realizing. Like this could have been a lot worse, but I'm glad that I wasn't killed. And after all that happened, like because I remember talking to the guy, and he ended up giving me some money for it. I didn't know how to respond to that. Like I didn't know like what to do, because I was just in shock. Uh, I called my mother. She came and picked me up, and there's a Whole Foods right where I got hit. She ended up going over there. Went in the store, and when I was in the car on the dashboard, there was this coin, like a quarter size coin, and I look at it, and it has the Ten Commandments on it.
Mm.
And I'm like, I just start laughing because I'm like, this ain't no way. And I'm like, okay, God, okay,
The
I hear
message,
you,
huh?
I hear
It's
you.
crazy how the message comes.
For real, the same like a day later, I'm just like, because I asked for that. I started. It started to replay in my mind. I'm like, if God is talking to me, he needs to like hit me or something. I'm like, oh, you funny. You for real. And God is a comedian.
Right.
Like, God is so funny.
And he hit you.
He hit me.
And it wasn't a slap.
No.
Hit you with a whole car.
Hit me with a whole car, but there was grace behind that because it could have been a lot worse. Like it was a little bump, but like for real.
That's what you call knowing God work, you know, that communication right there. And it comes in so many ways. People just, like you said, it's sometimes they just expect it the way it's supposed to come.
Right.
Like, God ain't talk to me. Oh, because you didn't hear.
Yeah.
The word didn't come to your ear. But it comes so many ways. Oftentimes it comes through people. And I think people miss that a lot of times.
They take that for granted. Yeah.
A person might walk right up to you and just give you a message and keep it moving. You know.
So are you hip? I'm sure you. I know you're hip. I just want to ask: are you hip with who the Hebrews are?
Of course.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
You know it. You know.
Yeah, but see, Hebrew, I wouldn't. It's funny when you call them Hebrews because Hebrew is more the language. I identify, of course, as Hebrew Israelite. I just call them Israelites. Though.
Israelites, yeah,
because it's kind of like it's the language, and then it's the people, and then you put it together, you got the language of the people.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Israelites, of course, 12 tribes, house of Jacob. In the Quran, they call it Yaqub. See, I had to learn some. I had to dive into their understanding too.
That's cool.
And
that's
it's like
good.
I see the overall premise, the message.
As long as and that's the thing. Like some people, they cut their own legs off. You know, before they
from learning a lot.
Well, not from either learning too much or not learning at all enough. You know, because like knowledge is only a vehicle, right? If you don't have the understanding of where you're going with it, then you're just mindlessly driving.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you need to have, and that's where wisdom comes into place.
Right. And discernment.
Right? Right. You need to understand and get the understanding from God. Like God, because this is how I go about it. Like earlier we were talking about it. This is how I go about it. I was just going to quote, I think it was 1 Corinthians. Let me see. 1 Corinthians, Paul tells you, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12, he tells you, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Right. And when I hear that and how I move about consuming knowledge is that, does this glorify God? Is there anything of substance that I can glean from this? And if there's not, then I'll toss it.
Exactly.
But if there is, I'm going to take that stuff and see where those things align, because ultimately it's a pattern. There is a pattern, and we can't be so obtuse to the point where we're like, oh, you don't say Jesus. Oh, I guess you're not a Christian then. Like,
right. That's that religious spirit, though. Like
that's the religious spirit
and stuff
right.
like that. Them you mess around, don't even got no relationship.
Exactly.
If you did, you would know.
Exactly.
You're not gonna be sitting here back and forth on that.
Know. Exactly. You know? Because it comes, because it's a relationship.
Right.
Right. People got head knowledge, and then there's actual people who've spent time with God.
Experience. And that's when people come tell me, especially when you be saying Christianity and all that. I believe, man, at the end of the day, you can even detach me from that bubble, or that, if you want to call that organization overall, that religion overall. I'm dealing in relationship. Yeah. If you ask me to sum it up, I'm walking with Christ.
With God.
You know?
Exactly.
I'm walking with Christ. I'm coming through Christ to go to the Most High.
Amen.
And regardless of what title or name you want to put on it, you can say that Christianity, because guess what? It's so many different versions of Christianity.
There it is.
Don't even put me in the bubble with it, because the Roman Catholic Church was the same people who came and used it to their advantage. Not only did they give you Catholicism, but they gave you a Christianity, which was a falsehood. You know? So I'm looking at all of that like, okay, the slavery trade, all that stuff that happened, and how they used it. This is the exact reason why people don't come to this book. You know, it's behind the whole character of Christianity.
They see the image of Christ, and then they see Christianity. They're like, these two don't really.
Guess what?
Supposed to be the same.
I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Because I'm walking in truth. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You know, I'm not sitting here trying to. I don't see that version of that Anglo, that white European eccentric whatever version of Christ. You know, the image that has been pushed that you always see. Anytime most people even sit here and they think and they hear the name Jesus Christ, they automatically have that image pop up.
Yeah, right.
See how it was programmed. And then you got the parts where, like the Roman Catholic Church and those who will come and say, like, yeah, this is the glorification behind the fact of how we did slavery. It's even written in your book, you know. That right there was the weapon that was used to make the masses of the chosen even to turn away and to not even know the truth at all, because they already discarded it for the fact that they've been brainwashed through the white supremacy, you know. not knowing when you open the book, this is a melanated book.
It is
about black folks.
Here's the thing too, because like some Christians, I feel like like I said before, we shoot ourselves in the foot. Like we cannot deny what is visibly and verbally expressed in the Bible. Because here's the thing, like you have people who will say, and I'm not saying it does matter, but it matters to them, right? Why would you change his color? Why? If it doesn't matter, why'd you do it?
It matters.
It matters a lot. And you'll have people who've deluded themselves in thinking that it doesn't matter. And God is not he's multifaceted. He's multicolored. I'm not putting God in a box, but in terms of who God's chosen people are, it matters.
For the same exact reason why Revelation 3-9 matters. For the fact that were going to be people that were going to be posing, but they really was the synagogue of Satan.
Right.
For all of those who who they are.
Right.
They posing to be who we are.
Exactly.
In our space.
Why
in our land, in our domain.
Why would you need to do that? If it doesn't matter, why do you need to do it?
Right.
So we got to stop kidding ourselves,
exactly.
And we got to stop running from who we are, because ultimately it comes with a great honor, but also a great
affliction.
Yeah, because you got to realize
it's a burden.
We were the ones who chose to rebel and chose to move.
Exactly.
You got to look
Deuteronomy.
You got to really look at it, man, because you're like, dang, I ain't seen nobody else like these people. This has to be us.
Yeah.
You know, you hear it in your spirit.
Now we gonna go ahead and go into it.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because I'm gonna start with Deuteronomy. We on it's gonna be Deuteronomy 4, and I'm gonna say Deuteronomy 4-25.
Okay.
When thou shalt beget children and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Lord thy God to provoke him to anger. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it. Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen. Whither the Lord shall lead you, and there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell, that idolatry. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Lord thy God, thou shalt find him, if thou seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul. When thou art in tribulation, and all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Lord thy God, and shalt be obedient unto his voice, for the Lord thy God is a merciful God. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of thy fathers, which he sware unto them. For ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that God created man upon the earth, and asked from one side of heaven unto the other, whether there have been any such thing as this great thing is, or have been heard like it. Did ever people hear the voice of God speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard, and live? Or have God essayed to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation by temptations, by signs, by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Lord your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes? Man, when you read Deuteronomy, you see the curses.
Yeah.
But first, before you even get to the curses, you see the action. You see the action. And then you literally see like the commands, like, okay, don't do this, don't do that. But doing this is going to be the result. And then you actually see the result. And going from that result to today's society lets me know who those people are.
You can. It's a map. It's a map. It's literally a
map
to show you. Like,
look, your eyes have seen. This is once again Deuteronomy 4-3. Your eyes have seen what the Lord did because of Baal. P.R. for all the men that follow Baal. The Lord thy God have destroyed them from among you. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you this day. I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me that ye should do so in the land whether ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. It's just, you serving Baal, you serving Molech, Beelzebub, Abaddon, Apollyon, Gilgamesh, Nimrod, you know, it's all these individuals, or some of them that got the same person, different names.
Yeah.
And it's like,
same spirit.
It's a lot of gods out here, little g gods, of course. They're not the most high, but you can be blessed, you can be poured into, you can be given a lot of things, but guess what? It ain't really a blessing if it ain't coming from the most high. You know, because they're gonna give you something in exchange, they're gonna take something from you, or they're gonna implant something in you. It's just like the medical field. How you go in there and they give you some medications, you know. They might help heal this, or this might feel better.
Like
it'd be suppressed. It'd be suppressed, now you're dealing with some other issues and problems.
And they tell you that stuff on the commercials.
Exactly. Like what, bro? Side effects, depression and arm going numb, and like, why can't I have the benefit without all the bull?
Right.
That lets you know what you're serving right there.
It's like, bro, why is there death involved in this? Like, I thought it's supposed to help me.
Crazy.
It'd be wild, man.
Let's see, man. Okay. If you could change the world in 6 days.
That's a hard question.
In 6 days. We're going to give you 6. Look, we're going to give you one day to, look, it ain't got to be perfect, you know.
In 6 days.
Because you're not the most high. We don't expect the perfection, but we want to at least have an imagination that we can all start to strive for on a day-to-day, you know. If you could change the world in 6 days, what would you do each day? Starting with Sunday and ending with Friday, because we know Saturday was that 7th day, you know. Saturday was that Sabbath day. Although times it could change based on the moon cycles and things of that nature, that 7th day of the week is Saturday. Sun will be that first day, Sunday. What would you do starting on Friday?
I started on Friday or Sunday?
You starting on Friday. Sunday? Yeah, you starting on... No, you starting Sunday and you ending Friday.
And then Friday.
Yeah. The first 6 days.
This is a hard question.
You just got to look. You see, you can identify with what's going on in the world. You can see everything happening in the world right now.
Well, can I just speak from my heart, like just what I'm?
Yeah.
So okay.
You got first day.
First day.
You want to make an impact.
Impact.
You're changing the world, even if you do one thing out of that whole week.
Well, that would be to bring the men back into their place of leadership, of authority, like fatherhood.
Okay.
I see fatherhood as a huge impact on culture in general. Definitely. Because you have a lot of what God is teaching me right now is that as much as wonderful as women are, the difference between a woman and a man are they're stark in that their roles and what they play. And there's only certain things that only a father can teach you. And I feel like in this generation, what we lack the most is that reverence and that understanding of what a father brings to family.
Covering.
Right? Yeah, it is covering.
That covering.
Yeah, because if what God is showing me is that if the father's not in the child's life, is not in the wife's life, the way that he needs to be, that head is the body is aimless. It moves and goes, is blown and moves every which way, wherever, you know, whatever the wind may do, you know, that's what happens. Versus the structure of what a man brings is that stability. It brings that guidance in that direction. And men aren't, I feel like more than anything, men they aren't born. Men are created. They are refined.
Yeah.
Men.
I mean, Adam.
Literally.
Creation.
And in a metaphorical sense, and in a very practical sense, like men. I may be a male, but what makes me a man is the choices I make. What makes me a man is the character I have, because that's what I feel like more than anything. It's like a spiritual it's a spiritual role that is being played here. Women I feel like are different. I feel like women, they kind of grow into who they are. They kind of grow into. But if a man doesn't know who he is, he becomes a detriment, not just to himself, but to everyone around him.
That's because he's that lead role. He's the one supposed to lead you to God. He's the one supposed to lead the world overall. That's that masculine.
And so you need good leadership. You need a leader. And the only leader that you can depend on is God. And this is why God, in that hierarchy, you have the father, you have the son, you have the man and the woman, and then the children. It leads like that. Like that's, and it's not about like, because some
ruling
people,
over people. And
it's not about ruling
it's
over
the
people.
Structure.
It's the
It's
structure.
function based on how things operate. God
Exactly.
made it that way for a reason.
The way that I understand that Trinity now, it's just the family. The Trinity is the family nucleus. It's the structure of reality. You know, the masculine and the feminine. God the Father, the Holy Spirit, the Son, them all working in unison is the express image of the family. And if the family is out of order, then and that's exactly what Satan wants. He wants the man to be out of the picture, right? Because then you don't have
that's that Delilah, that Jezebel. That's how we got to society today.
And that's what you see a lot of days.
Yeah.
You know, you see that the woman, and she can't help herself. Like,
that's what happened with all the white supremacy, the Willie Lynch, the slave trade, everything leading up today, especially with getting the man out the house, the systems they created, the EBT and the WIC and the Section 8.
Yeah.
The stuff that they took from like the Black Panthers and all that, a lot of that stuff was continuously used to separate the household. You know, now you got women today, they don't need the man because I'm speaking for the ones that's in the struggle. They got the Section 8, you know, the WIC, the bridge card.
They're doing okay.
Yeah, and it's like the separation of the household, even if they're not doing okay or they are doing okay, it's like the systems that's being created makes you comfortable in that situation to the point that you don't recognize the structure that it should be. You know, a woman can work, a man can work too, and they can work together. They can be under the household. It's just you got to understand that we got to know the role of the man. Of course,
Right.
You know, the man is the protector, the man is the leader, the man is the one to bring you to God. The man makes the hard choices overall, and it's like since they separated that, most of the men nowadays, that's why we got all these drugs was pumped through the environment. It wasn't just about making money. It was like they knew the man was gonna go out first, just like that man lion go out and go hunt for that meat. You know. The man was going to go out and go sell the drugs, and end up locked up, end up dead, end up separated from the family. And now the woman has to raise the children. And especially if she got some boys in the house, never learned how to be a man because they ain't had no, you know, it wasn't no man in the structure. Not to say that they still can't figure it out because you got your environment, you know. You might have mentors, big brothers, big homies, somebody around you, some type of structure formulated. But if there's really no men around,
they don't know who they are. And
they be targeting the men, you know. They targeting the men so much, especially through food, through so many different things. They targeting the men. Sex, drugs, food, certain things that's meant to trigger and attack specific genetics and DNA, especially within men. And if you want to go even deeper, specific men, you know. So
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's important. It's important to have that covering. That's why the marriage is important. That's why, you know, we need that.
Yeah. So I guess like for the first day, I would say like reinstate what a marriage is, the role of the father and the role of a mother.
Okay. And day 2? Because you just did a lot of work. So day 2? Hey, look, you might have more days to take a break.
Oh man.
Most High took a day of rest. You might have a few more days. It all depends. We gonna see. If we on Monday.
Is this like the world currently? As is?
It's the world that you know.
The world that I know.
You can't change no other world. You change the world that you know. You know, the one that you in. That's the only one that ever matters. The one that we in, because we in the present, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
True. Maybe that should have been the first day then. I'm thinking about this scripture. I brought it up earlier. If my people are humbled or who are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray. I see that like acknowledging God as who he is, you know, and that being the foundation. of it all. Because when you know who God is, he will teach you who you are. And so, like we said, like the hierarchy, it'll trickle down. If you know who God is, then you'll know what a man is meant to be, and you'll know what a woman is meant to be, and you'll know what the children
Morals and standards
yeah.
and laws.
So the structure will be it'll be sound. Maybe that'll be Sunday. Sunday will be
Sunday for structure.
For structure, that'll be God, and then we'll say Monday is man.
Okay.
Father.
Man day.
Yeah.
Structure day. We got man day, Monday, man day. Okay, so it's Tuesday.
Tuesday is
Tuesday is for. It's funny because all the days going to align too. Tuesdays is for working together in pairs and twos or more. You know, unison.
Good idea.
Unison. Whether it's with strangers or it's with family, it's with your relationship, it's with friends. It's just all about working together toward whatever goals it is. Rather than, like I say, we have a lot of combative nature about ourselves.
Yeah.
Especially with dealing with people we are in competition or somebody trying to outshine somebody or, you know, just people having a weak heart or a hardened heart overall. So we want to be in twos. We want to be in unison. We want to collaborate more. You know?
Rather than looking at it as opposites.
Or who I'm going to get this before you get that. Or just because you helping, you ain't taking from somebody's plate. You know,
right.
Competition and everything is. It's like we gonna come together and work towards something great because that's what we need. Yeah. We need the men back in the house. And then after we get the men back in the house, we need everybody to come out the house and come together. So that they could build an even bigger house.
Bigger houses.
You know? Come on. We 3 days in, man.
We gotta build kingdom.
So we building people.
This is all kingdom work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's good. That's a good one.
Okay. Yeah. So Tuesdays for twos. Tuesday, you know. Monday for man day. Okay, we got Wednesday.
Wednesday.
That's a day to win. That's a day to win. That's a day to win.
Maybe you should tell me what's your 6.
Let's see. You got 2 days. I got a day. I give us another day.
Yeah, let's give us.
We working okay. So we on Wednesday. We on Wednesday. This is the day that not only have we got the house together. You know, from the beginning of the week we got the house together, and then we went out in the streets and we got together with other people. So now that we all together, let's make this plan so we can win. You know. Now we got to implement it. We ain't only just talking about what we're doing. We want to see the results. We about to actually step out and do the experience, do the walk, do the journey, do the work.
Yeah.
We only gonna win when we actually get out there and we fight the battle. You know, rather it be we gonna plant this harvest. We're gonna grow us some fruit, some veggies, because like I say, us winning as a culture and as a people means we have to unplug from society and the things that they have designed for us to lose. If we are so dependent on it and so codependent on it, how we gonna win if every time we got to come back to them?
Yeah.
So it starts with, and I'm seeing this right now in Detroit, they taking a lot of parking lots and they turn it into agriculture.
That's good.
And, you know, because everybody would be going out to the farmlands or the suburbs to find land, but instead they turn in spots and central hubs within the metropolitan area of Detroit to grow crops.
That's wild that you're saying that you're talking about crops and stuff, because I was in my mind, I was literally thinking about like agriculture.
Yeah, so look, we got to keep going with the days because it's all aligning now. We brought the man together with his family. We took him out the streets. Exactly.
Wednesday is work day.
Exactly.
What we gonna work on?
That's the work day. The win day, the work day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we planting, harvest. You know, we serving.
Yeah.
We doing the works. God loves the works.
So we'll say Thursday is like thriving. Right?
Thriving Thursday, because now we're seeing
the
reaping the fruit.
Yeah, reaping the fruits, right?
Yeah.
And so you'll have Friday, which will be Friday's like
that's your last day before you take a break.
I would say you got to go out with a bang, then.
Yeah. So not only are we reaping the fruit, Friday is
celebration. That's like
the feast. Feasty Friday.
Feasty Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
I was thinking like it's got to be some type of celebration, some type of, and then feast is right there.
Feasting Friday.
Feasting Friday. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So we took it. We took it, y'all. We got the house together. We got the men back in the house. You feel me? We got the men in the house. structure. We took the structure out into the streets and formulated bigger structure. Whether you built a house or you built the temple, you know, because, you know, just like we are the body.
Starts from within.
Yeah. So we built that outwardly. And then we took that bigger structure and we added a fence around it, along with a garden.
Now it's thriving.
Along with so we're
doing what God called us to do.
Because this could be metaphorical, this could be physical. You know?
But we're doing everything that God said to do. You know, God says He placed man in the garden.
Be fruitful and multiply, and to all multiply, of that,
right?
And tend to it.
Tend to it, bro.
So we got the crops and everything going.
Ain't nothing we changing. God's the one got all the glory.
And then we starting to thrive. Now we thrive because we moving in unity and unison overall. And now you're gonna see the fruit come. The fruitful, feastful Friday.
And if you follow His plan, like those things will all come.
Yeah. And then not only are we having that fruitfulness on the Friday, but we remembering wash, rinse, repeat. Get right back to it again. You know, you got to keep doing it. Because, you know, slumber, idleness comes with the enemy.
That's what Saturday's for. Saturday's for reflection.
Exactly.
Saturday's for Thanksgiving. That's for you being grateful for what you got to complete in the week. And having an eager expectation of what's to come.
And now we gonna depart from what we indulged in from our benefit, and we're gonna fast. You know, to have even more appreciation that okay, we did all that and we enjoyed it. Now we're about to just step away from it for a moment and revel in the glory and thank the Most High for it. And then once the week come back in, we back to it. That's a beneficial week, y'all.
That's good.
That's a beneficial week. So I gotta say thank you everybody for tuning in. You know, make sure y'all hit that like and that subscribe button, man. It's been a real good talk. I got my brother Daniel out here now. You know, it's been a good one, man. You feel me?
Brother, thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Catch y'all later.
Take care.
Peace.
Yeah, I give me grace like this. Yeah, I was on a race like this. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. I'ma show my faith like this. When I was on my back, no funds, no work. Had to seek His face, I did. Yeah, show me the way like this. Yeah, show me the way like this.
I go where the bang never go slow. I go where the pain bring never more growth. I go where the lambs can't get in my boat. I go where the Great Lakes be on my low. I go where the rain came never on drought. I go where the lane take me to my goals. I go where the change came with ever more growth. I go where the change came with ever more growth.